PJ for Game Gumbo, I've got my guest here, Phillip Millman, and we're talking with Steve about some of the spicy hot games recently. Hey, our Gateway and Filler Games group is expanding and broadening our horizons. And we've been playing Teotihuacan. Not very well by me, but Phillip, maybe you can give me some tips. Tell us about your recent plays of Teotihuacan. Is this new play, or you've been playing it for a while?
So I played it a bunch when it first came out, and then recently I played it again. I don't know if you're familiar with Two Board Gamers. They have an Instagram. It's Carlos Martinez and Nancy Fernandez, who also live in the DC area. And so we went over to their house and played Teotihuacan with all the expansions. And I hadn't played with the expansions before. And so it was a lot of fun.
I haven't played the expansions.
Yeah, I thought it added some interesting decisions. So it adds another God board, which allows you to do some things. It gives you some asynchronous powers, and so everybody has a little bit of a different focus, which I thought was great. The scoring, with the exception of Carlos, poor Carlos, was very tight. I did not win. I came in second, which made Carlos very happy. Whenever I don't come in first, sort of like with Alex, he's very, very happy. So
what's he saying? Who's your
who's my baseball team? I'm a Mets fan, but this is the Abbott Costello Life.
Blaseball.
What's Blaseball?
I don't know that reference.
I don't know the link.
Yeah, what's Blaseball?
We're gonna have to check that out, man.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Anyway, so I really like the way the dice are the workers. They are workers, but as you use them, they go up in value, and then at one point they die and they ascend to heaven, and then they're reborn as a 1. And so just trying to play, and when you ascend, you get all these special abilities. So I really like games that allow you to chain, bonuses. And so, yes, Nancy and Carlos have a great idea, and they are such awesome people, by the way. I mean, they're just great people. And so I like the way that chaining of actions. That's why I like Lisboa, because you're chaining actions. Vinos, I'm a big Vital Lacerda fan, if you can't tell, or Gallerist, where you're chaining these things, and when you get it just right, you feel just absolutely brilliant, and when you mess up, you feel like a dunder.
Nick wants to know what if you had to pick one expansion, which one would you pick first? That's one so far. Oh, that's the
the problem is I don't remember their names. It's the second one that comes in the small box first, and then the bigger boxed one. But I just don't remember the names. I'm sorry.
The only one I remember was late pre-classic period.
Yeah, I think
it's the bigger one.
That's the bigger one. I think it's the one after that, which gives you the asynchronous powers.
Okay.
I happen to really, really like it.
Interesting.
So I've played that a couple times. I played it once with a 2-player with my wife just to remember the rules, and then we played with Nancy and Carlos as a couples game a few weeks ago. And I just it's such a nice game, because and also the tactile feel of building up the pyramid and playing in the dice. And I'm not rolling dice, which for me is a great thing, because when I roll dice, I lose. I hate that.
So I'm starting. This is now I'm on my third play of it right now, and I'm starting to kind of see a little bit of it. It's as you said, chaining the actions. Verla has also said that trying to get your workers to ascend as quickly as possible is another viable strategy.
Yep.
Because of all the bonuses you get. But I love the fact that when you do something, it's like a lever that's almost making other things click. If you have it set up right, if you have your dice set up right, and that's where I'm always jostling for a position where I'm trying to get my dice close enough to where I can get that 3 dice on the same part and giving you that really strong action. But maybe I'm wasting time doing that.
Well, what I really like is there's a lot of different paths to victory. And no one is going to be a sure win.
Right.
And so, I tried something in this last play where I got a bunch of dice all near, all in the 4 or 5 range, and then they all ascended at once, right? Through this one big play, because I had this little token that allowed me to bump up 2 dice. And it just, I was doing really poor. I wasn't doing well on the points. and then all of a sudden, because I was able to
You
ascend
stormed.
3 times, I just stormed the gates, as it were.
Right.
And that was fun. It was very clever. I mean, ultimately, Nancy won because she played better than I did. But it was just a lot of fun, and it made me feel smart, and it just kept me engaged in the game and trying to make sure that when I do stuff, I had enough cocoa to pay for everything that I did.
Right.
I just like games like that where, the more you start chaining stuff together, the more interesting it comes, and it really creates sort of not quite engine building, but it certainly it requires you to think at least 3 or 4 steps ahead, and I just enjoy that. I just enjoy that type of stuff.
Yeah, you talked about the tactile nature too. The pyramid itself is so much fun to build.
Yes.
But what I also like, and this adds to the replayability, at least the times that I've played, the board has never looked the same.
That's right.
The orientation of the different boards as you play
Yes.
around are always different. So the one game where you think, oh, I've got this, and 3 spaces away is this, and I'm just going to keep hammering that all game. The next time you play, the board looks different. You can't you do that little strategy.
That's right. And we had a particular board set up where they build the to build the pyramid action was before you got the stones. So you're like,
Oh,
ouch.
cool.
And I was like, Carlos, how did you set that up that way? But it's fine.
There's so much going on in that game where you can be getting points from many different areas that you can't be everywhere, but
That's
you have
right.
to be careful with where you want to be.
That's
and we
right.
have not seen so far in some of our online plays a way to really make the mask strategy work. Have you found that yet? To get the set collection working in that one?
It depends on what comes out when.
Yeah.
Right. So my very first game of Teotihuacan, the masks just came out when I needed them to, and so before the first epoch, which is the first scoring round. So there's 3 scoring rounds, and they're called epochs, and they come faster and faster. I had 5 different masks.
Wow.
Okay. At the first epoch,
And you get them each time.
and I was able to add on to them, and so I was just that was just. But it was because the masks came out as I was going up the God tracks and a couple other places, and I just like, you know what? It just worked great for me, and I love the fact that you can lock dice to get like special bonuses, and that to me was just a lot of fun.
Right.
I always unlock them, but it costs me so much of that. That the resource. I forget what is it. Cocoa. Yeah.
The cocoa. Yeah.
Cocoa.
So should I leave them locked? Am I making a mistake by just by trying to unlock them?
Well, trying to unlock them. So it depends. It really depends on a couple of things. But I had a special power that it made sense for me to lock them because. We also have
it's 3 cocoa to unlock everybody. So
yeah,
if you've locked lots of them, you can get all of them back for one.
So unlocking one is very inefficient, which is why I did it.
Yeah, so you want to unlock all of them at the same time. That's correct.
Right.
But I had also had a technology that every time I unlocked a die, I got 4 victory points.
Oh.
So that was another thing that I was just kind of rushing through too.
Nick,